Summertime is better with Bombas. Their thoughtfully designed clothes make you feel effortlessly at ease, from breezy tagless tees to second skin soft underwear to perfectly cushioned sweat-wicking socks, which, y'all, I treated myself. I just got a brand new shipment of sweat-wicking socks in, and let me tell you, they're adorable. They're absolutely so cute. I've got them in lavender and peach, even in leopard, to put on my feet, feel like I'm getting a little hug on the arch of my foot, and then go take my little mental health 10,000 steps walks. The Bombas make it so much more enjoyable than some flimsy, thin little sock that does not keep up with all my treading around town. Plus, what I really love about Bombas is that they give back. So socks, underwear, and t-shirts are the number 1, 2, and 3 most requested items in homeless shelters. And that's why for every comfy item you purchase, Bombas donates another comfy item to someone in need. So if you want to do your feet a big old favor and also give back, go to bombas.com/TMGW and use the code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/TMGW with the code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. Do your feet a favor, okay? They're always so good to you.
This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
I mean, every single episode, I know I started off just in awe of how we're drinking water.
Look at these tumblers. I feel so little now. I feel like a little kid that just is holding their
sippy cup.
Dad's big gulp right now.
Sippy cup, you guys. Another week, another peek into the lives. I should think of another day, another sleigh. It's like another week, another cheeky story from us.
There you go.
Let's
should we start with how tired we are, or should we end with how tired we are?
Y'all, poor Grace. I made Grace come over and do this at 4. Normally we do it earlier because we are both raggedy.
I'm
Raggedy Ann.
So tired. I feel like I'm on a different planet right now.
Well,
like it's a different type of tired. It's
we
weird.
welcome the aliens now.
Yes.
But I mean, we
haven't talked about them for weeks.
No, I love that. Elliot's obsessed with aliens, and now that we actually have them, we haven't discussed them at all.
I know. He's getting a paper published in a psychology journal about UAPs. Yeah, coming up. Stay tuned. He's been ahead of the curve. Yeah. It's
what's a UAP?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon. It's the term now that they use. This whistleblower, it was in like a UAP program before.
It doesn't roll off the tongue like UFO.
I know. I've only gotten used to it because this has been in our household as common jargon for like the last year. And it took me a while. UAP. Now I'm like, it rolls off my tongue. But
you are wearing Taylor Swift merch right now because you went to the show, and I
speaking of an alien, that girl is one of a kind.
How is she doing this?
The exhaustion that I have from just standing watching her do stuff for 3 hours while she's on the 4th night of like 6 nights doing this, the whole time I just kept smiling, being like, she's unbelievable.
But like, does she, like, when she gets off stage, does like someone come and like give her a wipe down, put her in a deprivation tank with B12 IVs?
Right.
Like, how does...
Like, is she getting like adrenaline shots in the ass as she's getting taken to stage?
You and I we couldn't do 3 nights in a row of our
show where we just stand and drink on stage. Yeah. But the 3rd night that we would do our shows, if they were back to back to back, I was a haggard mess. Yeah. And it was all my own doings.
Totally.
She is such a professional. It is unbelievable. The show was incredible. I got tickets last minute. You know, I've been like avoiding it.
We hung out. We had like a 3-hour dinner on Saturday. And then it turns out you left and then went and bought tickets.
Because that dinner was so lovely. We hung out with Tyler Oakley. It was like a reunion. I realized I hadn't seen him in 4 or 5 years.
You hadn't seen, which is fucking nuts to say out loud.
I know.
You haven't seen him since pre-pandemic.
Yeah, but I listened to he and Corey's podcast.
I know, me too.
So obviously I was like, it's been 4 years, but I know everything about what's going on with you that you've put out publicly. Right. So I don't need to catch up too much. But we went to Cheesecake Factory.
Which was so fun because for y'all who would watch the YouTube videos of us back in the day, I was in there and I was like, I think I've made both of you prank call a Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, you did. And it was so nice to be back.
And Tyler was like,
I gotta be honest. I came to Cheesecake Factory last Sunday.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah, Elliot and I order from Cheesecake Factory so frequently. So to be there on a Saturday night to see it popping and to take up one woman's table for 3 hours.
I know. Shout out to our server.
She
God,
was so nice.
So sweet.
She liked mushrooms. She was into foraging. That's all I got to know about her. But it was so nice. I wrote in my notes that I was like, all I want to do now is get together with friends and drink decaf coffee and eat cheesecake and talk about life on Saturday nights at Cheesecake Factory.
We are the Golden Girls then. Like, this is how you know that we're the Golden Girls. Like, let's say, I don't know who would be who, but like they had coffee. You had a decaf.
Yeah.
Tyler was doing real coffee. We all, we split a dip.
Yeah.
We're doing our stuff. Then we get a banana cream pie cheesecake, which was excellent.
Amazing.
And I don't consider myself a cheesecake person, but maybe I'm just not a plain cheesecake person.
Not.
And I had 2 glasses of red wine.
It was so sophisticated.
And I love it too because I was like, could I see your wine list or like,
yeah.
And then Tyler was like, the house Cabernet is great here. The house red. He didn't even specify Cabernet. I was like, okay. And then it comes to the table and I was like, I like him almost a sommelier, right? He was like,
oh my God. You just did a wine class and I just convinced you to get a house red from Cheesecake Factory. You were so polite. It was the dinner was so nice that I went home. I was so like jazzed.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't give me decaf coffee
Maybe.
in hindsight, but I was so just like, that sweet soul feeling that you're like, that was such a nice catch up.
Nostalgia.
And we're all like being adults and like hearing each other's stories and stuff. And it was just so sweet. And then one thing led to another, and I was on StubHub looking at tickets for Eras, and I was like, "Why am I just constant?" And at that point, this was like the 3rd night in a row that I had just like clicked to see what ticket prices were just for fun. And at this point, they were the lowest they had been that I had seen.
The closer and closer. I mean, like the fact is people bought them and wanted to turn a profit. So like, you could have. In the Uber on the way to the show, been like, well, fuck it. I just found cheap ticket. You know what I mean?
I mean, day of,
Not
I looked.
Cheap, but yeah.
Day of, they got way more expensive, but for some reason
really?
that night they were the lowest I had ever seen them. So I was like, and I was feeling so excited. And Elliot had a really good weekend at school, and he was coming home. So I was like, okay, let's just do this. I'm not starting chemo till later in the week, so this like lines up perfectly. So bought the tickets. I didn't realize till we got there that I bought standing room only tickets.
Hey, I love standing.
Honestly, it didn't make a difference. We stood the whole time. We would have anyway.
Okay, but here's the thing. I mean, I don't know exactly where that is, but we were at a concert literally next door to you guys, to the point where I went and saw Beck and Phoenix, and like Beck, I've never seen live, and I've loved him for 30 years.
When Elliot, I was driving to the concert, and I got text from you, and Elliot was like, "Do you want me to read you Mamrie's text?" And I was like, "This is a gamble, but okay, go ahead." I don't know what they say, and he goes, "Oh damn, they're going to see Beck," and I was like, "You can't be jealous."
Yeah,
we're driving to Taylor Swift right now.
But so 2 things about that. So and Phoenix was amazing, and the design was so gorgeous.
Cool.
But it was at the Kia Forum, and when we went and saw Blink-182 a couple months ago, I got us like floor standing room. And I never do that, but it was like, it was at the soccer stadium.
It was like a Christmas present too or something, right?
Well, it was a Christmas present, but it wasn't more expensive. It was more that it was like, I got them as a present to Chip, so I didn't discuss beforehand. And I was like, if Grace and Elliot want to join us, if our friend Joe, like if anyone wants to join us, then like we don't have to worry about getting seats together.
Yeah, it's great.
And then we like had the best time and had so much more room. So with this, I was like, I'm going to get floor seats. Found StubHub tickets for like, $40 or something like that. But what was crazy is it was so much room. We were all in the front, but then like there were seats behind us. So like front row, like couldn't see anything. And I was like, I would be pissed if I got front row tickets to a concert and didn't realize that I was actually
behind people standing.
There were actually like, a couple thousand people in front of us.
Crazy.
It was crazy. But so anyway, we had a good time, but I'll tell you this, because it killed me, is I got emails from the venue or Ticketmaster being like, hey, please try to come super early because of the traffic. Yeah. Because they're literally right beside each other, the Taylor Swift traffic, to the point where they opened the venue 2 hours early.
Wow.
And they gave everyone $25 Uber vouchers to try to encourage people not to drive.
That's amazing.
I've never even heard of that before.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, I went online. I was just looking up like tips for Taylor Swift and found this Reddit post that explained how like doors open at 4:30.
Yeah, they opened at 3:30 at this one because of T-Swift.
Yeah, that you could camp out so like they were letting people like tailgate, I guess, or whatever. And they were suggesting like get there super early. We didn't get there super early and we weren't drinking. So I was like, I'll drive instead of us just being in an Uber trying to get hyped with like a stranger. Yeah. And so we were going to leave early. Elliot got a little high before we left and was like he had this whole bit that he was really into on his Instagram story about going to see Ben Folds.
Let me tell you something. It got me.
Did it? Okay.
I literally, Grace, we are in the Uber on the way to the concert, right? This is probably like 6 or something because, of course, I didn't take their advice. I was like, we should go as close to the show as we can.
Yeah.
And like Jenny Lewis opened too. Like there were a lot of bands that I was like, let's just go.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're on the way there and I was like, oh shit. I was like, Elliot's going to see Ben Folds tonight, which I'm not a Ben Folds head, but they're from Chapel Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, that's so crazy. And I was like, I guess Grace would be going with him. She must have surprised him with tickets because she didn't mention it on Saturday. And then I was like, oh, let me see where they're playing. Probably the Greek. And then I was like, oh my God, they're not playing for another week. I was like, they're going to go to the show and they're going to be a week early. And fully bought it. And then I literally go to show Chip and then see your picture. And I was like, oh my God, I got.
No, he's got a second part that he's going to do next week.
Oh, wow. It's a 2-parter.
Yeah, he was scheming this whole time. I've never seen him so into social media. So I'm like, I'm never the one that's on time. I'm like, babe, are you ready to go? He's like in his office being like, wait, what? We're leaving now? I was like, we gotta go. I want to see her open.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the start of the show because in my mind, we're not staying to the end. Like I love Taylor Swift. Yeah. I don't love waiting 2 hours to get my car after a show.
It's a lot.
That's literally how long it was taking for everyone. Like when we left, we ended up leaving. Like I knew the set list and I had seen Megan Ranks, our friend on social media, that she had gone a couple of days before and she had like posted about what part of the show she left at and it was like perfect timing. And I was like, great.
Find the set list.
Yeah, you can find the set list. So we left after Bad Blood right before she got into the newest, Midnight's era. And we had time to go get merch because no one was at the merch tent or line, so that was perfect. And then we went to valet to get our car. The guy was like, you're leaving at the perfect time. It's about to be a 2-hour wait in like 10 minutes.
Well, here's the thing is I looked at set lists for the show I was at and they seemed pretty similar. You know, obviously it was a couple bands. I think they purposefully didn't banter because the show was like half an hour shorter than the other nights leading up to this. And I was like, because they knew that it was going to be crazy. But okay, so we're there having the best time and it's not a full audience, you know.
Yeah.
It's also a Monday night show. Like I think it got rescheduled.
Okay.
You know? But I was just like, oh, okay. Well, it's filling out finally. Okay, good. But we first got there and I was like, this is not good. I was like, I feel bad for these famous people who are making a shitload of money. This ain't, I mean, this is
going to hurt their ego.
I was spinning with my arms wide open, just being like, I got too much room. I feel claustrophobic by all this space. But then it started to fill out. And my friend Kiwi's husband, Kurt, was there. And so it was a good time. But Chip he was like, I wonder if there's a family that all drove down here for the mom and the daughters to go to Taylor Swift and then the dad came over here to the show.
Yeah, I bet.
And then during Beck's set, he goes, so how are all the Taylor Swift dads doing?
That's amazing.
And I was like, oh my God. And he joked about it twice. He was like, who here's kids are at Taylor Swift right now?
That's amazing.
I was like, are their ego bruised because Taylor Swift? And let me tell you, Grace, when we left that show, the absolute roar of listening to that Taylor Swift concert from 400 yards away. It's seismic.
It was insane. I just kept being like, she could start a war right now. The power this woman has. She would pause for a second, like playing piano. Do the classic
of the
glitter eyes to the audience. I can't believe this is happening. Oh my God, what an amazing surprise. For like half a second, people would clap. The clapping, she would let it last for like minutes. Minutes. I
don't like that.
Minutes. I had taken an edible when we got there. And then Elliot and I are just like gaping mouths. And then I'm also like the sound just became a lot like after a while.
I would have brought earplugs.
Yeah. Have you ever been on the hunt for a new doctor and you literally ask everyone you know for the recommendation? You want, a doctor that actually gets you, perhaps listens to you, and I don't know, makes you feel super comfortable, and you finally find the one. So you call their office and they have an appointment available, but then the receptionist tells you that this perfect doctor doesn't take your insurance. Dun, dun, dun. Wipe your tears, put away the ice cream, and head over to ZocDoc to find and book the doctor who is right for you and the one that takes your insurance. ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition that you are searching for. These doctors all have verified reviews from actual real patients, not bots. The average wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is between 24 to 48 hours. That's it. You can even score same-day appointments sometimes. Once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately with just a few taps. There's no more waiting awkwardly on hold with a receptionist. This takes out so much of the stress and awkwardness when it comes to booking anything in the medical world. If you are interested, go to ZocDoc.com/weird and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/weird, ZocDoc.com/weird.
Y'all, I don't know about you, but when I cut the cord on cable and started signing up for different streaming services, I didn't realize how many I was using. Using ones or paying for ones that I don't even watch shows on anymore. Or even worse, realizing that my boyfriend and I are both paying for the same ones when we really only need one account. It's gotta stop. It is madness. Well, luckily, I discovered Rocket Money when they became a sponsor on this podcast, and it has worked out very much in my favor. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Because most people think that they're spending like $80 on their subscription, when in reality, the number is closer to $200, okay? When you're signed up for so many things, like streaming services you used to watch one show on, or free trials that you really were gonna cancel and then you totally forgot, it is so easy to lose track of what you are paying for. And here's the great thing. Rocket Money does it for you, okay? They are the muscle. Rocket Money can even negotiate to lower your bills for you by up to 20%. What? All you have to do is take a picture of your bill and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Rocket Money is my bodyguard when it comes to blowing money. With over 300 million users and counting, Rocket Money customers have saved an average of $720 a year. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/TMGW. That's rocketmoney.com/TMGW. rocketmoney.com/TMGW.
Well, so our seats were in a suite, but we were standing room only in a suite.
That's so weird.
Basically, there were like 2 rows of seats. So we had this whole suite, which is amazing because we could like go up to the front, watch from behind people, which was fine. We could see everything. And then we could like go sit down and have drinks and stuff. Like there was booze and stuff, but we weren't drinking. But we were also in a suite with like 7 or 8 like 12-year-old girls and their moms.
Oh, wow. What an experience.
Which was so fun.
Of course.
But also crazy because all they did, every single one of them, phone held, record. They recorded the entire show on their phones. Every single one of them.
That
recording.
makes me sad.
I was like, what? And I was talking to Elliot on the way home. I was like, I don't know how to feel. Well, I guess this is the biggest thing to happen in their little lives. So why wouldn't they record
in their little lives, she says. These sad little tweens.
The one girl in front of me was on a FaceTime with her friend who wasn't there.
That's kind of
And her
cute.
friend's just crying. I could see on the FaceTime the whole time. I was like, that's really cute.
Aww.
But every single little girl, just full phone out, arm straight. And if they're watching the concert, they just have their phone going the entire time.
It's like you can find it on TikTok and stuff, right? Or maybe not, because that T Swift, she will shut down a copyright. Me and you got an email this week.
We did. I couldn't believe we used one of her songs. I was like, when did we do this?
No, but I had already privated. Grace and I get an email from like an old
rep company.
I almost said internet factory. Like people who sold ads.
This is why we don't keep up with the way the internet kids are doing stuff these days. We come from the old internet factory.
We got an email from the internet factory saying, "Hey, you have all these copyright claims on old videos. You need to take them down." And I'm not kidding. It was just 5 Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah, mine was like
used 20 different ways.
Yeah, and unbelievable. I think 2014 and 15, I loved using that song. Oh! Dun, 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 dun. There was a lot of that.
It was an era. It was an era.
I remember back in the day just freely using this music too and being like, there will never be a time that this band's going to check if I used unbelievable.
No.
They got their crumbelievable going.
They sold out to Kraft.
Yeah.
They were good. Wait, where were we?
Okay,
so
all
these
these little
kids,
girls,
yeah.
the show's incredible.
I'm sure.
Obviously, everyone's posting about it. I didn't want to watch a lot of people's stories because I think I knew deep down I would try to get there. And also, I didn't film a lot. I wanted to just sit and watch the whole show.
I was shook.
Yeah. Well, I also don't
for you to
love-
leave, and then I just see like, oh, she just posted like one cute. She was like, oh, did you see the picture of Grace with all her snacks?
Yeah,
I
we
was
got
like,
a ton of snacks. All I wanted was a hot dog immediately, but we got there late because Elliot was doing his little TikToks or something before we left. And I was like, get in the car. And he's like working on this Ben Folds bit.
Oh
he
my
must have tried to
God.
shoot things in the car like for 45 minutes. And I was like losing my mind because I was like, we're so close to, we're going to miss the opening. We're going to miss the opening. We were like sprinting through. Then we have to get in this line, which is so long because they ran out of bracelets for a second, the light up bracelets.
Oh,
of everyone.
shit. You can't let that
So
happen.
everyone's in line. I'm like, well, we missed it. We're going to miss the opening. Then this girl in front of us, bird shits on her dress.
Yes.
She's wearing this pink fringe dress and she just turns around. There's just bird shit on the front of it. And in my mind, I'm like, all right, perspective is everything.
Yep.
Night's not that bad, even if we miss the opening.
It's good luck. It's good luck, though.
Yeah, she's running around. She can't find a napkin anywhere.
It was fringe.
It was fringe.
Oh, I would have cut it off.
Oh, it was a bad situation for a
Little bald
second.
spot right there.
Then we get in. We get to the suite. Then I realize we're standing room only, and I'm like, in my mind, oh, I fucked up. Like, I didn't. What's SRO mean? I thought that was just like a special row.
You thought you were in like honoring a veteran from the SRO.
I didn't even know that we were in a suite. So I was like, oh my God, we're in a suite. And then we get there and then we're like, where's our chairs? What's SRO mean? Oh, we're standing room only. And then we were behind. So there's all these little girls and there's this other family. There's a mom, dad, and a daughter that was probably like, I don't know, maybe 14 or something. The dad had on a shirt that had all of her albums listed on it.
Love it.
And the dad, it was
Swiftie dads.
It was bittersweet because the dad, of course, is like the tallest guy in this thing. So he's standing directly in front of Elliot. Yeah. He stood like the whole time with his daughter, which was so sweet.
That is really cute.
Because the mom would sit down and then the daughter would be standing by herself. So he like would stand up with her. And though he was like kind of blocking us a little bit, I was just like, this is so heartwarming to see. Because she would like look at her dad and like mouth words to him. And I was like, oh my God, Taylor Swift is bringing everyone together. I get my period in the middle of the concert. So that is
Bad
how,
blood.
Yeah,
Bad blood.
That's how powerful the sound was.
Wow, the vibration sent you into a menstrual cycle.
Yeah, but this suite had its own bathroom. So it was like, this is a perfect scenario.
Because literally, if they didn't just like non-gender the bathrooms, that's not even fair to be like, men, you get your own private bathroom here. And like there's a 50-person line.
Right. I also like, we're next to all these other suites that you can kind of like see. I look to my right and I'm like, oh, I know those girls. Like, I thought they were my friends.
Oh no.
And it was Chriselle and Emma from Selling Sunset. And they're like dancing in their little fringe dresses. Yeah. And I was like, I know that girl's on television. Yep. And so is the other one. Mamrie knows one of them.
Emma.
Yeah. I was like, that's the girl Mamrie's met before. And they were having the best time. So that was surreal to be like, they're over there just dancing. And Chriselle's with her wife, I guess. Yeah.
Wife?
They got married.
What?
Yeah. Didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did.
What?
Fact check me on that.
G-Flip, Chriselle married?
I think they got married like in Vegas or something. What? Am I wrong?
I can't. I'm so. Just put in G-Lip Chriselle's Mazurs.
This is how Mamrie text.
G-Flip on Chriselle wedding, the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Where the hell have I been?
I thought you knew this. Yeah, this was earlier this year. I think it was part of the newest season.
I haven't finished the season.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, spoiler. they tied it. Yeah, they're like the real deal now.
Damn.
So they're all there. It was so fun. I love watching Taylor Swift dance. You know?
Because it's never the best, but she knows how to strut powerfully.
Hitting all the points of the dance, but it's like me trying to do hip hop dancing. So I like appreciate that she's giving 150%.
Yeah.
She did a lot of like hunching and pointing.
Wait, that's what I was going to say is everything I see is just her leaning over, pointing. And I was like, okay, you old witch.
Yeah, she was wearing a lot of witchy dresses.
It's a lot of just like
pointing. And then she'd point like this and bring it down to her chin. And it was just a lot of pointing. I was like, we're watching theater, babe. And
what was your favorite? Okay, what were at least a couple of your favorites?
Don't Blame Me. I love that song. It's like my favorite. It's from Reputation. It's like this almost gospel-y kind of. It's like, don't blame me, love make me crazy. If it doesn't, you ain't doing it right.
Okay.
It's really good. But it's like, she had like these, it's like gospel sound. And it's like, she actually belts on. It's the first song I've ever heard that's, I'm like, oh, she's singing.
Oh, like I can massive pipes.
Yeah, I can hear her singing. She like belted last night. And I was just in awe of the stamina, you know, you're like, we left probably a half hour before it ended. And still, I was just like, this is incredible. She's hitting every single dance move. She did do, you know, not my favorite, but a lot of like the slow sads. Like,
I saw a lot of big dresses and pianos.
There was a lot of, she spent what seemed like a long time on Folklore, that era.
See, here's the thing is like, when we were on the way to the concert and stuff, or when was it? I forget. Anyway, but Chip was like, are you sad you're not going to Taylor Swift? And I'm like, honestly, I was like, I've seen her, which is fantastic. Yeah. But also like, that's when I kind of then stopped. Like I didn't listen to anything that she put out in quarantine or eras.
Yeah, say it. Like I like Lover because obviously Elliot and I went down the aisle to Paper Rings, which is on Lover, which I was like, if she sings this song, Elliot and I were in the car, we're like, if she sings this song, we're both going to start sobbing.
I knew it. I was immediately like, oh, right, that makes sense. They
yeah. But she didn't
in their ceremony.
She didn't do that I know. I looked at the secret songs that she did after we left, and she did some acoustic like songs from she did one that she does with Bon Iver, one of the newer ones, and Dress. So they're both like slow songs. Okay, I'm more of a like plug it in. Yeah, I don't need it unplugged.
No. I want absolute like. I just want bangers.
Yeah, exactly.
I want bangers.
And she's got so many hits. Like the whole ride home, obviously, two of us are like squawking at each other, just like, that was the most amazing thing ever. And I kept trying to think of like, who compares to her level of longevity, her level of just like hits after hits after hits. I was also just so surprised because, you know, we've been in and out of her music for like, I don't know, since living in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And when I see these like 12-year-old girls in front of me filming the whole thing, I'm like, how does she still continue to appeal to these younger audiences? Like, are they finding her old music? Because they knew everything. Like they knew the lyrics to literally every single song.
Like I remember being in Queens, like the summer I moved to New York. So like 2006, it was like the summer after.
Yeah.
And my friend Jess, who I just went to Vegas with, her just loving Taylor Swift, and it was like Taylor Swift, like high school Taylor Swift, like, you know, Love Story and things like that.
The Fearless and all
but
that.
But now it's like, that was almost 20 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, Taylor Swift was putting out hits when these girls weren't even a glimmer in their daddy's sperm.
Yeah, and I saw the daddies last night, and they were getting drunk on some big boy beers and like swaying as much as they would let themselves sway.
So maybe it is more of a mom's introducing them.
That's what I was wondering. And I mean, her music just like truly captures the essence of being like an awkward little girl.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what other artist is like embracing that. I was trying to figure out how to like verbalize it. I was like, it's not cringe. It's like corny, but like even corny is a bit too derogatory for it. It's like sincere. Like I can't figure out what the quality of it is. She
really embraces sincerity.
Yeah. And also like there's self-awareness in it being uncool in some perspective.
Yeah, but then again, how is it not cool?
Right.
She sells out stadiums.
The success like speaks for itself, but but it's built on the back of this like, all shucks like kind of thing. It's very all
shucks.
Yeah. So there's something like even Elliot was just like, that's an alien. That girl is not normal. That girl doesn't live a normal life. She's looking at us like she's normal. That's not a normal person.
Okay. I have two things.
Yeah.
One, when you finish a tour like this, which I guess she has some more dates later that got like added or something like that. Does she then go abroad? Like this was just a US. But then also, if you're doing a tour of this magnitude, which is truly not just like, hey, I'm promoting my new album and then I'll sprinkle in some hits. It was like, here's the breadth of my anthology.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you take off before you do it again? You know what I mean? Like if she popped up in 3 years doing another tour, we'd be like, everyone just spent so much money to come. We just heard those. Like,
I feel
do you take off like 7 years before you tour again?
I don't know. But she's so calculated, you know, not in a bad way. Like that's part of her success is that she is so thinking years ahead. Like I kept being like, I feel like she's even possibly planned out all these eras for herself as a young girl.
That's
you
what
know?
I wonder. I wonder if she knows mentally, she's like, oh wow, it's going to be so amazing to do nothing for the next 2 years when this is over, and then I'll get back in the studio in 2008 with Jack.
Yeah,
for a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
she talked a lot about the pandemic. And I was like, stop reminding us. But
it's fantasy.
She said like during the pandemic, you know, she lost her connection with her fans and didn't know when she'd get it back. So she just decided to write as many albums as she humanly.
And she did, man.
And she did. And she was like labeling all of them or naming them.
She put out more albums than I did YouTube videos during the pandemic. I was like, I want to make so many videos. I'm stuck inside. Too later.
But she's speaking to this thing like I don't know. To me, I read that as like, oh, she panicked that I got to stay relevant. So I'm just going to keep pumping out shit and I'm going to try something a little bit different because I don't know when I'm going to get back to seeing people. So I got to stay on their mind. So it's interesting. And I don't know. I thought it was very cool for her to be so reflective and presentational of all of these literal eras of her life, because you and I talk about looking back on our old shit and how cringy it is, that she's like, no, I'm going back. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to give it to you in this big hug presentation and walk you through, take you by the hand. And we're going to go through all of the stuff that we've already been through. And I was like, wow, that's very bold. But also it's just like hits after hits.
I know. I want her supplement routine.
I know. That's like, honestly, she looks so strong on stage. Like she looks just like, oh, you've been doing some sort of like endurance training or something.
She had to do some actual like weightlifting before this started.
She looks strong but still like lean and like herself. Like she doesn't look like some weird professional athlete now. Yeah, but she just looked like, I don't know. It was really great. It was so, and the energy in there is unlike anything else.
I know. We came out and it was like, we were like, holy.
We were in there.
Holy
and I was
shit.
like,
We got to get out of here before this chaos.
If this wasn't Taylor Swift, this could turn on a dime and we need to find weapons.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Totally. If this was like an angry band that had that many loyal fans. Well, I'm glad you did that for yourself.
Yeah, it was
What a
so
treat.
fun. But today I definitely feel like hungover, but
It's just
I
energy.
tired. Yeah, it's truly just like energy. And also I danced the entire time.
Well, I have a note. I'm so old. I am legitimately sore from last night. And that wasn't even like, but I'm a big bouncer.
Yeah, same.
Like, I'm just
around.
like, I'm going. I'm trying to give them the energy that they're not getting from these Swiftie dads. I'm just being like, let's go.
We've all been there. We try to fit everything we think we might need for a trip, only to end up with a suitcase bursting at the seams. The amount of videos that my husband has of me sitting on top of my suitcase trying to close it before we get to an airport is numerous. With Base, however, there's room for everything. 15 pairs of underwear for a weekend trip? No problem. Deciding between a few pairs of shoes? Bring them all with Base. Base was created by actress Shay Mitchell to make sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel effortlessly while still looking fashionable. Base has thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage. 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty clothes, and all the interior pockets that you can keep organized. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes, multiple colors, and for shorter trips, the Weekender bag is super functional and even has a place to store your shoes separately. I just got one of the beige Weekender bags, and I can attest that it is so cute, so functional. It will store everything, and it's got this kind of canvas material on the outside that makes it super, super durable for someone like me who is a little bit sloppier when they travel with their things. Every piece is made to look better with miles, so you don't have to worry about it in cargo or overhead, and Base has over 30,000 5-star reviews. Whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through the security line, Base has your personal items covered. Right now, Base is offering you guys 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/TMGW. That's spelled BEISTRAVEL.com/TMGW. Again, basetravel.com/TMGW for 15% off your first purchase.
Oh, also one thing happened during it that I fucking loved.
Yeah.
Is speaking of tall people, there at one point right before it started, or when Phoenix was first starting, there were like 3 really tall guys who, they look like TikTok people that are like, what would you say if you opened an elevator and we were all in it? They're just like, oh God, these fucking children. And that like really beeline to the like front, not front and center, but like middle. And I was just like, okay, like one of them like bumped my beer, and I'm an old lady like, I'm
Get off my lawn.
I'm beans at this age. I was like, Chip, be careful. Don't slip on this beer that this fucking tool just made me. No, it was a great like energy there. But I was like, Jesus, okay, they really needed to be in the middle.
Yeah.
At the end on Phoenix's last song, which is great, which like, they were just crushing it, and they're a French band.
Yeah.
He comes out into the audience, and I'm like, oh shit. And I mean, like, still with the chord, like it was like the longest chord of all time. He walks through standing room only. We're like, this is amazing, amazing. Walks over to the edge, jumps up, and basically rock climbs himself to the second level.
Oh my God.
Then starts walking through the audience and hugging everyone up there. Probably went past like 100 people hugging. I have video of it, and then jumps back down, and I was like, Chip, that's 20 feet.
Holy
like I would have
shit.
broken both legs.
Yeah.
Comes back into the audience again. We're all like, this is crazy. He just like scaled that wall, and then gets to those guys, and those 3 guys pick him up, and he crowd surfs back. And I was like, I think they were plants.
Oh.
That like if he couldn't naturally get someone, he was like, I want to make sure I crowd surf my way back, or like a insurance plan of like if people got 2 in his face, those guys could like get him up. 100%. But I was like, holy shit, this is so cool.
Wow. And then you're like, sorry, I got so mad at you earlier, guy.
Hey, good job keeping our guy safe.
You're pushing him out of the way, being like, don't slip on the beer.
I know, truly. But I was like, I'd never seen a performer like climb into the other seats to start hugging people.
That feels like old school MTV music video shenanigans.
You would love it. I'm going to get you into their music. You'd genuinely love it. But no, I'm for sure sore today. But what's so funny is, and I'm not hungover or anything, but I was hungover on Saturday. Chip and I went down to the West Side to hang out with people like his bar rescue friends.
Oh, yeah. You and I got to Cheesecake Factory, and you walked in, you're like, I'm hungover.
Yeah. It was a really fun fun time, like one of them from the culinary crew like made a bunch of food for like quesadillas and chicken sandwiches, and we like hung out and then like went to literally a bar called The Shack where there were like Jello shots and karaoke. And I was like, every time I come to the West Side, I feel like I'm in 2008.
Oh, fun.
So we had a great time, and we woke up the next day and I was like, all I have to do today is I got tickets to Alamo Drafthouse because Chip likes Studio Ghibli and Japanese animation, and I'd seen a couple before, but there was one, the like iconic one, Spirited Away, that Chip was like, you have to see it. And I've been to the Studio Ghibli Museum in Tokyo, and I haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like going to the Francis Ford Coppola and being like, I've never seen The Godfather. It's like, what are you doing? But so we went, and I was like, this will be fine. Like, we're hungover.
Yeah.
But we're in recliner seats. We're going to order some queso.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have a little like a hair of the dog beer. It'll be great.
So nice.
And then it starts up, and I realize I've made a huge mistake. It's in Japanese with subtitles. And I go, and I look at Chip with such...
You have to do
reading.
Oh, no.
I look at Chip with such pain in my eyes. He goes, I thought you knew. And I was like, no, I didn't know.
Oh, so this is what it is.
So it's subtitles for 2 hours.
Wow.
I'm sure they had a dubbed version.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no.
Oh,
No. And I was like, I can't read now. I cannot read. And I was like, he was like, do you want, like, I must look crazy because he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, no. And then the whole fucking movie, I was expecting whimsy. Like I've seen like a different one of Ghibli that's like, there's a big cat that's a bus. You know what I mean? Like Totoro. Like it's like fun and like little creatures. No.
Oh, no.
This was like human slaves to monsters. Like it was so, other people were like delighted. I was like, this is terrifying.
Oh my God.
None of this makes any sense. Our protagonist is annoying. Like all these people are scary. Like the main bad woman is like this huge old lady who can turn into a bird, but like keeps an old lady head with a wing. I looked at him and I go, it finally ended.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I said, you couldn't pay me to experience what I just experienced again. A hungover,
oh my God,
subtitled, dark anime.
And Chip loved it.
Chip was like, I thought you'd like it. I was like, you don't.
Do you know me?
And then meanwhile, I'm like, I got the tickets. I surprised him, all that jazz. But so I learned from that.
My God.
I was like, don't ever.
What was that place you went to this weekend with the thing being poured over the thing?
The thing on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looked so good. Was that meat?
No, that was like, it was like a open face. It was like a French onion toast. So there was like caramelized onions.
Whatever it was, it looked great.
And then they poured like a gravy around
Incredible.
it. And did I ask if there was beef stock in it? No, because I was going to take a bite, damn it. So you know me.
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok.
Yes.
I'm being fed my algorithm of, self-deprecating women in their 30s and like making fun of Gen Z.
Mine's just recipes now. And
mine are too.
I cannot figure out a system for saving these recipes. So all my notes are just like cucumber salad. Like cheesy. I just keep copy and pasting.
Archive the TikTok.
Is that how you're supposed to do it? I just keep literally screenshotting the descriptions and saving them into separate notes.
Granny.
Yeah.
No, it's like how you like archive on Instagram. You do the little thingy. The little the little flag guy.
Right, but that means I have to go back to Instagram to look through all of that. Right?
Yeah, you open Instagram. It's not tough.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
TikTok.
try.
You know what else I do when I want it's a TikTok. You know what else I do when I want to remember something?
Yeah.
I have a text thread with myself.
Yeah, me too.
So I would send that TikTok to my texts.
That's smart. Yeah, I've just been saving them as separate notes. And I'm like, this seems like the wrong way for me to do this.
This looks like the chaos of me writing my cookbook right now.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I'm going through the food stuff. And then I get past one that's like just these two friends that like go out to eat. And, it's edited so annoying. But like, I took my whole family to eat at this place and it blew our minds.
It's the Mr. Beast effect.
Yes.
And I hate it.
I do not like. But I saw this restaurant and it was downtown LA and it was like two Michelin star chefs. And I was like, that looks amazing. So I slid into the DMs.
Oh.
I sure enough did. I was like, I saw this on TikTok. I would love to come. I will put it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we'll take $250 off your bill.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Done and done.
So I was still whipping it up. I mean, I still had like a bill after that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's money doesn't mean anything
Right,
when you're
this
getting
is
something
Monopoly
comp.
now.
What's so funny is they were telling us the specials, and one, we'd seen it beside us. It was like a full Dover sole that like she came and like did the skin off, like deboned it at the table. There was like a floating gravy thing.
When people can do that tableside, I'm like, I can't do anything with anyone watching me do anything. No. It would be a fucking disaster.
I got nervous every time I carried a tray of drinks.
The guy, when I got my driver's license, he parallel parked for me because he couldn't bear to watch how nervous I was trying to do it.
Perfect. But she was doing the whole thing. And then like this, how nice it was is they were like, and this, and I was like, Chip, you should go for that fish. And it looked amazing. And he was like, sure. And he's like, so about the Dover sole? He's like, yeah, we're offering it tonight for $150. And I was like, he'll do the scallops. I actively choked.
Wow.
No, but the place was so beautiful. So like the cocktails were amazing, and that was like an open face thing. And
it
then
looked
like
so good.
They had like awesome sides and salads, but then this dessert blew my mind.
Okay.
So it was like marzipan, I think ice cream. So like almond ice cream.
Cool.
But all over it was shaved Meyer lemon ice.
Fuck.
So like it was the lightest shaved ice you've ever had, and then you get to the middle and it's, I mean, we were looking at each other like,
That's
what
insane.
the fuck?
Amazing.
Like this is the best thing I've ever tasted. And so we just had a really nice meal there, and I had to embarrassingly, when the like check was dropped, be like, I think we have a
I know, I was gonna say
think we have a discount via Instagram. And then the poor guy, like, it should have been like flagged because he maybe apologized 5 times when he dropped his check. And then I was also like, would you have been nicer if you would have known we were like guests at the house? Because I think you got a little judgy that we didn't get the soul once I learned how much money it was. But no, it was really nice. And then I ran into, so I'm sitting there and we're finishing our meal, and we, you know, got a bunch of desserts. And of course I'm an absolute monster now. Now I'm like, oh, you want to hear about this Hungarian Austrian wine? Do you want to know why it says that? That's because they put a yeast on top while it ages called fleur. So it doesn't. Chip was just like, oh, just give me the sweet wine. So we're sitting there, we're finishing up, and then these 2 tiny little stemmed wine glasses come to us, which I'm not kidding. It's like a shot glass wine glass. Like it was so cute.
Okay.
And it was like, and it was filled with Amaro, and they were like, compliments of, and I was like, oh, this guy feels really bad that he didn't know we got a discount. Who cares? And they were like, of the man at the counter, and I look over, and it's someone I worked with at City Crab 17 years
New
ago.
York?
Yes.
Whoa.
And I like had to do the like, what? And then he just goes like, I don't know if you remember me, City Crab. And I was like, Alex.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, like we truly worked like 5 days a week together in that restaurant for like 5 years.
Wow.
And it was so crazy is I knew he lived in LA because he was dating like one of the hostesses that I was friends with.
Classic.
And it's just so funny because, you know, when you're that age in New York, I was like, he's a player. It's never gonna work. I was like, don't get attached, girl. You know how these boys are with cash in their pocket.
Restaurant dynamics.
Yeah.
So
and then he was
crazy.
like, she does interior design. We have a 2-year-old. I was just like,
well,
this is
fuck
crazy.
me.
But so it was a lovely little night.
Cute.
I know. I love when I put stuff out where I'm like, trust and believe. I slid into DMs.
I was like, she's tagging this place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I wanted
that
to tag them in a way where I can come back.
Yeah. But I was like, there must be something worked out here. This is
Fantastic. But it made me think.
It looked great though.
We need, like, I liked the elevated shaved ice.
Yeah.
Because I was a big shaved ice kid. Were you?
We had Rita's water ice. We didn't have shaved ice.
Water
ice we had in South Jersey. It was a big
thing. But isn't that what it is?
Literally shaved ice. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a stand when my dad lived in Georgia, and it was like, you know those little stands that are like cigarette stands?
Yeah.
It was that, but it was a snow cone place.
Oh, that's fun.
And so I'd be like, please, can we please go? And
Yeah.
we'd go, and then I remember I would like always feel like a badass when I ordered tiger blood.
Whoa, what's that? What? That sounds scary.
Sounds like a Taylor Swift track.
Yeah, what?
I just got a copyright claim for saying tiger blood.
Heck?
It is, let's see so it's one of the flavors, you know, to be like, do you want tutti frutti? I'll do half, you know, you always gonna be like, I'll take grape. Like I wanted to do the cool ones, but tiger blood is, what is it? I think it's like coconut and strawberry or something like that. Yeah. So but I'd always feel kind of.
Are you going to get in the shaved ice again?
Watermelon and strawberry, hint of coconut. Ooh. I think we should.
Okay.
Buy a shaved ice machine together.
I remember I had cousins that at one birthday party, they had a shaved ice machine. And I was like, these kids are rich.
What if
it was rented?
What if we opened a stand and remember the Dina Carter? Maybe not because you were from the North. There was an album that was called I Shaved My Legs for This. I think we should have one called I Shaved My Ice for This. I swear these aren't pre-planned bits. I just thought of it.
Oh, that's great. But I mean, it would be hard because children would be wanting this product, I imagine.
But I'm saying we should do boozy shaved ice. We should make it fancy. It's the best dessert I've had in ages.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I've had it. I've gotten into popsicles lately, though.
Have you?
Similar track.
What's but is it like artificial flavoring ones, or is it like, oh, it's got whole chunks of fruit in it?
I like the whole chunks of fruit. Yeah. I was really into lime popsicles for a second.
Get out of here.
I felt like you would like that. It's super citrus, super tart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty fun when you're high and you're just like, I want something, but I want to have a smart snack right now.
I don't know the last time I bought popsicles, and popsicles were always in my freezer growing up.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the banana pops?
We had the freezies, the plastic, what do you call
Otter Pops.
Otter Pops. Yeah.
Chili Willies, if you will.
God, I love grape. Grape was my favorite.
Okay.
I'm a grape girl, and people didn't understand it, and I didn't understand how they couldn't understand it. It's the best flavor.
I'm the light blue or orange gal.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Anyway.
Wow. And you wonder why we leave the concerts early. To get home at a sensible hour.
I'm always being like, you know how I can tell I'm old, and everyone's like, because you listened to your own podcast and heard what you say? Because holy shit. This was fun, though. I'm going to let you go to bed. I feel like you're going to be asleep by 7.
All day I felt like I could fall asleep, but also my brain's still buzzing about how fun that was.
I'm so glad you had a good time. And also, you have to tell Elliot that I was legitimately concerned that he was going to Ben Folds on the wrong night.
I can't wait to let him know that you got, but also stay tuned. There's a part 2 of this mastermind. Once a month maybe he Instagram stories, but this one he was like hell bent on. He must have explained it to me 6 times. I was like, oh, I get the bit. I get the bit. Would you put a shirt on, please? We need to go.
Well, now question though, does he legitimately love Ben Folds?
Yes, we both do. We both
I was
do.
like, okay, because they do have a concert. Now I know there's
I don't want to spoil it, but that is we're supposed to go to the concert.
Okay. All right, well, this got weird.
Yep.